生活中总会遇到很多困难，但你一定要想得开，千万不能钻牛角尖儿。因为生活呀，不光是你去做什么，更是你如何去做。
Okay. We did just get news that Brandon Ingram is officially out. We kind of already knew that was going to happen if you guys were in the Discord. He was downgraded to doubtful pretty early on the day. If you guys are playing over on PrizePicks, we got in early before the lines started drastically moving upwards for guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Devontae Graham, and Jonas Valanciunas. Got some good value there. Got some good value on the Al Horford situation, the over 7.5 rebounds over on PrizePicks. See where he's at right now. He was at 4 like midway through the second quarter, so he was well on his way there. He's still at 4 with about 3 minutes left, so he should be able to get there. We are waiting on a lot of news, specifically the Bam Adebayo situation. If he is to be ruled out, Al Horford 5 rebounds, 3 more for Al Horford. So if Bam Adebayo is ruled out, you are going to want to play Dwayne Dedmon, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, but specifically Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Dedmon. Dedmon has been the direct backup for Bam Adebayo so far. And actually, let me show you guys something. So if we go look at the movement in this game, and actually for the Miami game, so the Grizzlies open as 2-point home favorites. They've moved to 2.5, and actually I've seen them at -3 at some books. So they have moved from 2 to 2.5/3 points, with only 26% of the bets being placed on the Grizzlies, which means the bigger bets, the sharper money is on the Grizzlies. So I do believe that it is believed that Bam Adebayo will likely sit in this game. You know, he was questionable yesterday with the same injury, but he ended up playing through it, played pretty well as well. So I mean, it's pretty up in the air. I think there's a good chance that he ends up sitting, but yeah, if he ends up being ruled out, you're going to want to have some exposure to Dwayne Dedmon and Jimmy Butler specifically. And then we'll kind of hammer some things over on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, I've already got some action in over there at the over 27 fantasy points, just ahead of time, in case Bam Adebayo gets ruled out. And if he is ruled out, we'll just slam the over on Kyle Lowry. Also, if you look at Pinnacle, Kyle Lowry is projected for like 31 fantasy points if you look at all of their props, and he is only at 27 fantasy points over on PrizePicks. So I think Pinnacle thinks that Bam Adebayo is going to sit in this game, but we will just have to see. But let's just go over some game notes. A lot of things have broken throughout the day. We will start up top with the Orlando Magic versus the Detroit Pistons. Michael Carter-Williams, Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, and Etuan Moore are all out. Chuma Okeke is going to debut for this team for this season at least, but he will be on a minutes limit, so muddies the water a bit more than it already was. Jalen Suggs has a 25.9% usage rating, leads the team. Probably my favorite play on this team, given his price at $4,900. I think he has a lot of upside and a lot of opportunities, and I think the minutes will follow if he is playing well. which is what you want from a tournament play. On the Detroit Pistons side, they are going to be without Isaiah Livers and Chris Smith. Cade Cunningham, the first overall draft pick, is officially active today. This will be his debut game, but it was also mentioned that he will be on a minutes limit of 20 to 25 minutes. He is $3,600. I think a lot of people are going to end up playing him. So not only does this rookie have to play, the most amount of minutes he can at 25 minutes, he also has to perform well in his first game. So, an outside tournament option, but, really the upside is really capped with how many minutes he's going to play. And honestly, he didn't even look that good in the preseason either. So I'm probably going to shy away from playing Cade Cunningham. If he's going to gain ownership, I'll probably go elsewhere. George Hill, George Hill should probably play around 30 minutes tonight. I'd much rather go there and have my security in minutes. Move over to the New York Knicks versus the New Orleans Pelicans. If I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at news, because I want to be all over that as soon as that happens. Same starting lineup for the Toronto Raptors. So the New York Knicks are going to be without Nerlens Noel. Like I mentioned in my video earlier, Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose are splitting all 48 of those point guard minutes, never playing next to each other. They're going with a true hot hand approach. The last two games, the hot hand has been with Kemba Walker. If he's going to continue to play around 30 minutes, he is probably too cheap for $5,300. But again, if he's not playing well and Derrick Rose is playing well off the bench, Rose is going to end up playing more minutes than Kemba Walker. So it's a total crapshoot. And then Julius Randle up top leads the team with a 30% usage, second on the team in 17.2 total rebound percentage, 29.2 assist percentage, averaging 1.42 fantasy points per minute in 37 minutes per game. One of the best plays on the slate. He's going to be very low owned, very good matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans. If you're playing some of these Pelicans guys, the spread is at 7.5 points now that Brandon Ingram is officially out. So you might want to run it back with somebody, and Julius Randle would be my preference. On the New Orleans Pelicans side, they're going to be without Zion Williamson, Garrett Temple, and Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram was a midday downgrade, so he is now out. So Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jonas Valanciunas, Devontae Graham all become very, very good plays, even at their prices. I like Nickeil Alexander-Walker a ton on FanDuel. At 6,500, he's still viable over here. Gonna get to a good bit of him. He is an A-tier play for me currently. I wish Josh Hart was cheaper, because I think Josh Hart probably plays, somewhere around 30 minutes today. But at 5,100, you can do a lot better. The Toronto Raptors are going to be without Pascal Siakam, Yuta Watanabe. For the first time yesterday, we saw Precious Achiuwa, his minutes kind of get taken away from Kem Birch and Chris Boucher. So I don't know how secure his minutes really are anymore. I'm more on the skeptical side. If he could get back up to playing around 32 minutes, $5,100 is entirely too cheap. But I can't really trust his minutes as of right now. But you can trust the minutes of Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and Gary Trent Jr. All of them are entirely too cheap for how many minutes they are going to play. Maybe Fred VanVleet to a lesser extent, but OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and Gary Trent Jr. are going to be playing massive minutes. And Gary Trent Jr. is only $4,600. Don't really understand that price tag. Goran Dragic was completely out of the rotation last game. Delano Banton ended up closing the game out with Scotty Barnes at the 5, and so Precious didn't even close, and Delano Banton is the minimum price. His Banton's minutes are on a upward trend. He's the bare minimum. So if you need a bare minimum guy, Delano Banton is probably the player you are going to want to roster. The Indiana Pacers are going to be without TJ Warren, Keelan Martin, Isaiah Jackson, and Malcolm Brogdon. Karis LeVert is going to play today, his first game this season, but they are going to take it slow with him. He is on a minutes limit. I think him being back hurts Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, Torrey Craig the most of anybody. I think Domantas Sabonis, is going to murder this Toronto front court. They're severely undersized and very, very not good at defense. So Sabonis should be able to do literally whatever he wants in a high volume amount of minutes with no Malcolm Brogdon on the court. $9,200. His price has been coming down. Love him on both sides. one of my favorite, if not my favorite, spin-up option on the slate. Chris Duarte, TJ McConnell should all play pretty big minutes today. McConnell disappointed last time out and still surpassed his prize picks projection today. You know, his projection is at 22 right now, and pretty much the same situation, except we get Karis LeVert back in a limited manner. And he still passed that yesterday at 4,900. I think TJ McConnell is a near must play for me. And then with LeVert being back, I'm not on Jeremy Lamb at all anymore. He was more of a tournament option for me, but kind of shying away from that now with Karis LeVert being back. Move over to the Atlanta Hawks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks are going to be without Onyeka Okongwu. The team is pretty much at full strength right now, so I'm not really considering anybody on this team outside of Clint Capella at 7,100. Very affordable on FanDuel. I like his over on Prize Picks as well at 30 fantasy points. You know, excuse me. His he was on a minutes limit coming into the season. He played 17 first half minutes last game. Ended up tailing off in the second half because they were so far behind. And they ended up closing small with John Collins at the 5. I think against Joel Embiid and the 76ers, they will need his size. And if you extrapolate the 17 minutes from the first half over the course of a game, that's 34 minutes. That's not a minutes limit. And at $7,100, he has been a 1.2 fantasy point per minute player since the beginning of last year. Clint Capella, one of the best tournament plays on the entire slate. Philadelphia 76ers are going to be without Ben Simmons, Grant Riller. Joel Embiid is officially active. Shake Milton is on a minutes limit. He only played, I believe, 16 minutes last game. I'm expecting a similar amount of minutes for him today, which secures Tyrese Maxey's role of playing around 32 minutes in this game. I think he is a fine play. Joel Embiid, since the beginning of last year, has averaged 1.84 fantasy points per minute with no Ben Simmons on the court. He is only $9,800 on FanDuel. Don't understand that. He's only $10,200 on DraftKings. I don't understand that. He's going to be very, very low on. I don't understand that. I mean, he came into the season looking a bit rough. He didn't look completely active in these games. But if you look at the last game, he was very, very active and showed that he is healthy right now. And he should be able to do literally whatever he wants today. One of my favorite spin-up options on the slate, and I guess he's a GPP play just because it is contrarian. Don't know why he's not going to gain ownership, but that's really all I'm looking for from the 76ers team. The Utah Jazz versus the Chicago Bulls. The Jazz are going to be without Mike Conley and Rudy Gay. So with no Mike Conley, I'm expecting Joe Ingles to enter the starting lineup. With Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench, both those guys should receive extended minutes in this game, as well as Bojan Bogdanovic. He is 5,200. I think his role is a bit more solidified with no Mike Conley. Not that it already wasn't, but to a further extent. And then Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, I think are a bit too expensive for me. Really like Jordan Clarkson, though, from the Utah side. The Chicago Bulls are going to be without Kobe White and Patrick Williams. Man. Apologies. So the Bulls are going to be without Kobe White and Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams was injured into the third quarter last game. Alex Caruso ended up playing 17 of the last 18 minutes of the game. So I'm expecting Javonte Green to actually get the start here, and then Alex Caruso to continue to come off the bench. But he should play 30-plus minutes, and should close out both the halves. And he's a very, very efficient player. Only 4,200 over on DraftKings. He's 5,000 on FanDuel. I think you could do without him. But over here on DraftKings, I think he's a very, very good play. And that's all that I'm really looking for from the Chicago side. I think that some people are going to fall for Javonte Green just because he's starting. Not the route that I am going to be going. The Miami Heat, like I mentioned, it's all dependent on the news of Bam Adebayo. If Bam Adebayo is out, Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Dedmon become must-plays for me, as well as Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero becoming very, very strong plays. If everybody is healthy, I'm not really considering anybody on this team outside of maybe a bit of Jimmy Butler and then Tyler Hero coming off of the bench. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to continue to be without Dylan Brooks. That means D'Anthony Melton and Desmond Bane's minutes are very, very secure on this team. They are affordable still at 54 and 5,300. Steven Adams, though, is probably my preference of these three guys. 2 games ago, he was dealing with foul trouble. Last game, they were losing pretty bad, and they had to lead a comeback, and they kind of matched the size of the Warriors. The Warriors like to play small ball in the fourth quarter. So if they continue, so Steven Adams ended up not playing in the fourth quarter in overtime, but he was still on pace to play 30 to 32 minutes, and he has been a very good fantasy player so far this year. His role is pretty secure on this team, unless the off chance that they go small in this game. I don't think they do. And he is only 5,500. He's probably my favorite player from this Memphis Grizzlies team. The San Antonio Spurs versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The Spurs are going to be without Doug McDermott and Zach Collins. Lonnie Walker ended up starting in place of Doug McDermott last game. Okay, so the Pelicans are going to start Devontae Graham, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Herbert Jones, Josh Hart, and Jonas Valanciunas. So Herbert Jones and Josh Hart both enter the starting lineup. Jones had been starting in place of Josh Hart, but now that Ingram is out, Hart is also joining the starting lineup. Like those guys quite a bit, especially when we're talking about Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Devontae Graham, and Jonas Valanciunas. So Lonnie Walker ended up grabbing the start for Doug McDermott last game, played 27 minutes, but it was Devin Vassell who actually closed out both of the halves in a competitive game. So that is pretty worrisome. I think you can get to better plays in this price range. Keldon Johnson missed a lot of playing time in the first half due to foul trouble. He picked up 2 fouls in like the first 3 minutes and then had to ride the pine for a while. He actually leads this team in usage. He is $5,600. More of a tournament play for me, but I think the upside is there at this price. Move over to the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, and also to mention, DeJounte Murray, second in the league with 17.6 potential assists per game. I think he is definitely in play. That price tag is pretty scary to pay for DeJounte Murray, but his new role on this team and how many minutes he is secured to get makes it definitely viable on this slate. Move over to the Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to be without Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday, Bobby Portis, and Dante DiVincenzo. Giannis Antetokounmpo finally priced where he should be, but he is still very, very viable on this slate. He put up nearly 80 fantasy points last time out. We were all over him there then. And, I will still go back to Giannis in a ton of spots today. I think he is squarely in play. Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, more of secondary plays for me. And then George Hill at $3,600. He should grab the start yet again for Drew Holiday. Play about 30 minutes. One of the better value plays in the sub 4K category, the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Golden State Warriors. The Thunder are completely healthy right now. I think that if this game does stay competitive, it does have a current spread of 12.5 points. If this game is competitive, Giddey, Bazley, Dort, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are all entirely too cheap. Josh Giddey recently has taken on a bigger facilitating role, and that is where he is going to shine. This may be a very, very good buy low opportunity for Josh Giddey here. Unfortunately, it looks like he doesn't get run in blowouts, and although I don't like avoiding players because of blowout risk, this game has a real opportunity to do that at home against the Golden State Warriors. Where they are 12.5 point dogs. But if this game is competitive, Josh Giddey will destroy this $5,000 price tag. And the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at $7,300, definitely very, very affordable. But really focusing on Josh Giddey over there on the Thunder. The Warriors are going to be without Klay Thompson, James Wiseman. It looks like Jonathan Kuminga is going to debut today, and then Damian Lee is questionable. Now, if Damian Lee misses this game, he's been playing about 30 minutes per game. He has been in the closing lineups. I would expect Jordan Poole, who is second on the team in usage, to enter the closing lineup, because we know they like to play to close out games small. So Kevon Looney's not going to be in there, and it's probably going to end up being Jordan Poole and somebody like Bielitsa or Otto Porter or Andre Iguodala. But I think Poole probably gets one of the first cracks at it with no Damian Lee potentially. And if you're playing a guy like Steph Curry or even Jordan Poole, you are probably going to want to bring it back with one of the Thunder guys because you are assuming that that game does stay competitive. Because if you don't think it's going to stay competitive, there's no reason to play a guy like Steph Curry unless you think he's going to get it done in 3 quarters, which it is Steph Curry. He definitely could, but going into it, if you're paying nearly $11,000, you are probably going to want to get the full allotment of minutes from your guys. The Denver Nuggets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Nuggets are going to be without Jamal Murray and Vlatko Cancar. Nikola Jokic was looking very, very questionable in their last game, which was just yesterday, and he ended up playing, put up 45 fantasy points in just 25 minutes. And actually, the game before, he put up 41 fantasy points in just 15 minutes. We know how good he has been since the beginning of last year with no Jamal Murray on the court. He's going to go severely underowned today. He did pop up as probable. Michael Malone did say that they want to rest him at times this year. You know, this would seem like a good spot to rest him, you know, the second leg of a back-to-back when he's actually dealing with a legitimate injury. But he probably ends up playing. If he were to miss, Michael Porter Jr., Will Barton, Aaron Gordon would become near must plays. And then guys like JaMychal Green will probably get the spot start with Jeff Green coming off the bench and playing the backup 5 here. Don't mind those guys at all if Jokic is ruled out, but as of now, Jokic is in, and I like him a good bit. The Minnesota Timberwolves have no injuries. D'Angelo Russell had his best game of the year so far, ended up playing 36 minutes because of it. But the games before, you know, he wasn't really ever surpassing 30 minutes. A lot of that time getting taken away from a guy like Patrick Beverley. I don't think they want to play him all that much past 30 minutes unless he's playing very well like he was last game. So I am avoiding D'Angelo Russell. Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns absolutely run this team. Their minutes are very secure in the high 30 minutes range in competitive games. And if Jokic is healthy, they are going to need all the minutes they can get out of Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. I will mention that Patrick Beverley is $3,700, has been playing just north of 20 minutes per game, but has been very, very active and good in those minutes. But, you know, over the course of his career, that's really not been Patrick Beverley's game. So I think his per minute numbers are going to fall back down to earth sooner rather than later. Last game of the slate, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Phoenix Suns. The Cavs are probably going to be without Isaac Okoro again tonight. But yeah, with no Okoro last game, they ended up running a 8-man rotation until the game ended up blowing out. So that really secures the minutes of Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Ricky Rubio. All of those guys played 31 plus minutes last time out. If I'm choosing between any of those guys, it's going to be Ricky Rubio. He's the highest per minute producer of the 3. And they all played similar minutes, and he ended up closing the game out. So I like Ricky Rubio quite a bit at $5,600. I think he's going to go severely underowned, especially since he does come off the bench. But just make sure that Isaac Okoro is out before that, because Isaac Okoro was playing 27 minutes per game as their main backup player outside of Kevin Love and Ricky Rubio. The Phoenix Suns are going to be without Dario Saric and likely Cam Payne again. Elfrid Payton has been the main guard off the bench behind Devin Booker and Chris Paul, taking that Cam Payne role over. He is $3,100. His minutes a couple games ago were pretty skewed because of the blowout. He ended up playing like the last 16 minutes of that game. I'm expecting him to play around 15 minutes, not somebody I am looking to get to. And then Chris Paul, he actually leads the league with 19.8 potential assists per game. You know, they're hitting at about a 50% rate, which is about normal, a little above average. But yeah, I like Chris Paul somewhat at $7,500, but you know, this game, or the Suns team as a whole, is pretty much all secondary plays for me. I do think that Mikal Bridges is pretty cheap at $5,100. Has a secure role on this team in the mid-30s minutes. Good matchup against the Cavs, but really not focusing on too much from this Phoenix Suns game. Really just need this news on Bam Adebayo so we can know for sure if we are playing Dwayne Dedmon, Jimmy Butler, or not. All right, guys. Man, my voice. Eagles or Gary Trent Jr.? Gary Trent Jr. 100% for me. What about LeVert? Him being there takes away from TJ? I mean, not really. I mean, I guess when they're out there on the court, LeVert's definitely going to be active, but I don't really think it takes away that many minutes away from him. I think TJ still plays around 30 minutes tonight, which is all he needs. If you go back to all of last year, you take Malcolm Brogdon off the court, he averages about 1.17 fantasy points per minute, which is plenty for him in 30 minutes at $4,900 or $5,500 over on FanDuel. I think it more so hurts the minutes and production of guys like Jeremy Lamb, Torrey Craig, and Justin Holiday. I think it hurts them the most. And it's not like Karis LeVert is coming back at full health. I'm expecting him to play like 18, 20 minutes tonight. Like, it's not going to be often. Not even sure if he's going to end up starting. Thoughts on Booker? I'm not on Booker today. Matt said he's warming up. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that he's going to... I mean, he'll probably end up playing. I mean, with my luck, I'm predicting injuries. Outside of the LeBron thing a couple nights ago, I've been missing those pretty severely. JaVale McGee, pretty decent value, cheap. Yeah, I mean... The upside's just really not there because he's never going to get very many minutes unless the game blows out or if DeAndre Ayton gets in foul trouble. Kyle Anderson, a game-time decision. Wow. So if Kyle Anderson does end up getting ruled out, that would make D'Anthony Melton and Desmond Bane very good plays. And I would actually... Pretty sure they have Melton and Bane over here. I might get some action in over here on those guys if he ends up being ruled out. Jimmy or Sabonis? Sabonis for sure. Are you still on Duarte? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this makes Desmond Bane and D'Anthony Melton like very, very good plays. Very good plays. So what we got? We got Bane at 26. I actually really like this. Bane at 26. Melton at 29. I like the Bane more. Who can I pair this with? Is TJ still at that? I mean, I have so much money on. Oh, TJ moved from 22 to 24. Okay. So I probably avoid that. I do like the over, though. You like Bamba or Collins? Probably Bamba for me. Yo, if you guys are in here and haven't done so already, subscribing and running up the likes on this video is the #1 way of supporting me. So I would really, really appreciate that. Yeah, that's what it is, man. It's more of the security and minutes that because I mean they already are at pretty good rates, Melton and Bane. So if we get secure minutes, if they can get secure minutes in like that 32-minute range, you can't ask for much more. Thoughts on Van Fleet? I mean, I always love the Toronto Raptors and Fred Van Fleet, but I do think that he is a bit expensive in that range. Like you can get up to some guys, potentially Jimmy Butler, if Bam is ruled out. Cunningham projected to be 34% owned, playing 20 to 25 minutes a game. I mean, that's pretty crazy, no? Am I crazy for thinking that's crazy? Who do you like in the Knicks game? I like Julius Randle a ton. I like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Devontae Graham, Jonas Valanciunas. Those four guys. Stick Bamba or upgrade to Pirtle. Ooh. I'd probably just stick with Bamba. I think Bamba is a very good per minute producer, and his minutes seem very, very secure since they are so willing to play him next to Wendell Carter. Jokic or Embiid? That's close, man. It'll probably end up being Embiid for me. If Bam is ruled out, anyone at 3,200 or lower in play, Delano Banton. Delano Banton is the minimum price. Kate is the truth. Maybe. How do you feel about 3 studs tonight with Giannis, Butler, and Joker? Yeah, I mean, I think that's really good. I mean, most of the time I'm going with like a more of a balanced approach today, just because I don't think there's any screaming value outside of guys like Caruso and McConnell. There's no like sub 4K value that I'm like going crazy over. At least as of right now. What's going on, Billy? Utility play 5.4K or below. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean now it's probably, man, I want to say Clarkson, but it's probably Desmond Bane. It's probably Desmond Bane. And just hope Kyle Anderson sits. And even if Kyle Anderson doesn't sit, he's still a great play. What's going on, Pub? No, what's going on, Big Show? Thoughts on Kemba? Yeah, so, I mean, Kemba and Derrick Rose are splitting all 48 of those point guard minutes, and they're running a true hot hand approach. So, you know, Kemba, the last 2 games, has had the hot hand, has played upwards of 30 minutes, and has destroyed that price tag. But the 2 games before that, it was Derrick Rose with the hot hand, and he was nearing 30 minutes a game. Both of them are too cheap if they play 30 minutes, but it's a bit of a guessing game. But I will say Kemba Walker does have the first crack at it since he is starting. So I would side with Kemba Walker over Derrick Rose. But I think they are going to be relatively under-owned, but definitely prefer Kemba in that spot. Bam Adebayo on track to play Saturday. Okay. So we don't really have to worry about changing our lineups. We look to be good to go already. What's going on, Boston? Steven Adams or Ingles, last piece. I'm going to go with Steven Adams. I think his minutes are a bit more secure than Ingles. Even with Mike Conley out, I'm expecting Clarkson to probably be in that closing lineup, which is really going to cut into Ingles' minutes in the fourth quarter, if he even plays in the fourth quarter. Nwora or Caruso? Caruso for sure. OG or John Collins? OG 100%. Oh, Horford got it. I completely forgot about that. Good looks on that. Yeah, if you guys were in the Discord, once we saw that Robert Williams was a midday downgrade to questionable, we slammed the over on Al Horford 7.5 rebounds. He had been hitting that anyways, and with no Robert Williams, he would be like the only big out there for the Celtics, and it looks like we cleared that already. Bam Adebayo warming up with the intent of playing, so yeah, probably, yeah, the second half just started, and Horford's at 8 rebounds already, so pays to be in the Discord, guys, which is completely free. So that is linked down in the description if you guys want to join up in the Discord. So no Elf Payton. No Elf Payton for me, no. Embiid or Sabonis? I mean, I like the savings in Sabonis. I love the matchup. Probably leaning Sabonis there, but why not both? Bam, and yeah, it looks like Bam is going to play. Favorite Pelican is probably Nickeil Alexander-Walker for me tonight. Cedi Osman. So Cedi Osman wasn't even in the rotation last game. We'll look at how tight the rotation was for the Cavs last game. So only an 8-man rotation. Cedi was out of it. It was Kevin Love, Ricky Rubio, and Lamar Stevens actually took over Chedi's spot. Cedi was a DNP. So, and he didn't even get blowout run either, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. But it looks like Lamar Stevens has passed him in the rotation, at least for right now. Again, we have to make sure Isaac Okoro is out. If Anderson is out, McConnell, Duarte, Trent, Sabonis, Embiid, Melton, Bane, Caruso, 600 left over. I love that lineup. I feel like you can do something with 600, but I love the lineup regardless. Yeah, going with that more balanced approach today, I think, is the route to go. Maybe pay for 2 guys tonight. Pay up for 2 guys. And that 5K range is just loaded tonight. SGA or Anthony Edwards? Edwards for me. Unless for some reason you have some Golden State guys, and then I would play SGA, just because then you would be assuming that that game does stay competitive, and then you can get your full minutes from SGA then. Sub 4.1K forward. I don't know if I have any on my sheet. Let me take a look, actually. There may or may not be somebody down here. I'll look for you real quick. Yeah. Yeah, I would probably rebuild. There's really nobody down here at the forward spot. Bane or not, and FanDuel not for sure. Pay up man for cash, probably going to be Domantas Sabonis. Embiid to Jokic with the 600. Yeah. I mean, you're going to be really contrarian by leaving 600 and playing Embiid. I think Jokic probably ends up being higher owned. But man, it's tough. I really like Embiid today. Semi Ojeleye will play today and rest Sunday. Who's your favorite overall play tonight? Highest exposure? Probably Domantas Sabonis for me. I'm not doing too hot. Carter or Scotty Barnes? Scotty Barnes for sure. Can you play Capella and Embiid same lineup? Absolutely. Bobby Portis officially out for conditioning reasons. I thought we already got that news earlier. Best play on the slate? Probably Sabonis for me. I really like Sabonis. Like Caruso as well. 4,200. Probably one of the best value plays. Hill, Caruso, Trent, Sabonis, J-Val, TJ McConnell, Randall, Adams, GPP. I think that's good in cash games as well. Cade Cunningham officially getting the start today. We get Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Isaiah Stewart. And actually, if we take a look at Kelly Olynyk's over looked pretty sketchy. If he didn't close the game out yesterday, he would have missed by a ton. Where's Kelly at? And they said, oh, it was at 30. It's down to 28 now. I feel like I should have placed a bet on that. I still kind of lean the under on it. He is a good per minute producer, but it looks like he's only going to be playing like 8 to 10 minute stints. And now with Cade Cunningham back, even though he is a guard, really just muddies the water even more. Is Banton a good value? His minutes are trending upwards. He's playing ahead of Goran Dragic right now. He closed the game last time out with Scotty Barnes at the 5 and no Precious Achiuwa. You know, given his price, I think he's probably like the best min price guy for sure. DK has a Okoro out. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure he's out, so. What do you think about Vanderbilt? Not on Vanderbilt. LeVert playing for Pacers. Yep, he is limited, though. Let's go, Brandon. Trey Murphy or Crowder. Going to be Crowder for me, although I wouldn't want to play either of them. Any rebound props? No rebound props for me. The only rebound prop I had on the day was Al Horford, and he hit that just after the second half began. Man, you really want to know about Vanderbilt. Yeah, I'm just really not on him all that much. Looks like they used him as the primary defender on Giannis. Giannis put up an 80 spot, so don't know how that really went. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me. I have something. Cade a must in cash. I mean, Cade's playing 20 to 25 minutes, so you could play him if you want. He will be high owned, so I mean, even if he busts, you're not really drawing dead. Suggs or McConnell? McConnell for sure. Big night for Booker tonight. I'm not really on Booker. I'm on Chris Paul over Booker tonight. Same starting lineup for the Spurs and the New York Knicks. Nothing new there. Walker grabs the start again for Doug McDermott. Brandon Clark. I'm not on Brandon Clark. Although, you know, the Grizzlies are pretty... They're okay with just playing whoever is playing better that game. So I guess there is an off chance if he's playing well that he just earns extended minutes, but not something I'm taking a chance on and spending my hard-earned dollars on. Okay. McConnell, Suggs, Bane, Sabonis, Jokic, Trent Jr., Niang, Capella. Wow, Niang. I feel like you could do better than Niang there. He just doesn't really have a real track to minutes, in my opinion, unless the game blows out. Hill, Caruso, Bane, Randall, Embiid, Banton, Sabonis, Trent Jr., GPP, DK. I like that. DK, GPP, Cade, and Sabonis, or OG and Grant. Probably the Sabonis side. Do you believe in the birthday narrative? I don't really believe in any narratives in DFS, to be honest. OG and Graham? Or OG or Graham? Because I prefer OG to Graham. Like both, though. FanDuel single game Suns versus Cavs picks. I don't know. You're going to have to ask me in Discord. I haven't really been playing single game outside of in-game. Do you like Josh Hart at all? Man, I wish his price was cheaper because I do like him. I do like him with no Brandon Ingram. I think his minutes are going to be secure. I think he's going to play 30-plus minutes. It just sucks that he's 5,100. You like Najee Marshall as outside consideration. Ingram leaving 36-plus minutes. It won't go all to Hart, obviously, who's already got 22 minutes. Yeah, some of them are going to go back to Herbert Jones. Herbert Jones' minutes tailed off a little bit. I guess Najee could grab some extended run, too. Still on Duarte with LeVert back. Yep, I am. You think Steven Adams gets extended run today? Yeah, I think he gets his regular run today. D'Angelo Russell, any way you think he goes off? Well, at least we know that if he is playing well and is hot, they are going to play him extended minutes. We saw that last game out. On a normal basis, I think he plays around 30 minutes. But last game, he was playing very well. Ended up playing 36 minutes and destroyed that $6,800 price tag. Giddey or Bane? Bane for me. Are you off the Miami dudes now with Bam? Yeah, I'm not really playing any of those guys. I still think that Jimmy Butler is a fine play. It just seems like Kyle Lowry is taking a while to get acclimated to this team. So the ball is always in Heroes, Bam's, and Jimmy Butler's hands. Graham and Bane or Cole and Milton? Graham and Bane, if that's what you're asking. Best GPP play, 4,400 under on DK. It's for the F spot. Let's take a look. It is probably going to end up being Devin Vassell for me. 5,100 at power forward at the moment, but yeah, I mean, on the off chance Jokic sits on the second leg of a back-to-back, he would probably be the guy there. But I would probably just play Darius Baisley at 4,900. Horford went back down to 7. They took one away. Robbery. Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. My elevator music turned off. Appreciate that. Good looks. Joval or Vooch? Joval for sure. Hero or Porter? Hero. Sabonis, Giannis, and Embiid, same lineup. Okay, yeah, if you can make that fit, I love that. Love all three of those guys. Thoughts on Banton for Toronto? Yeah, so, I mean, his minutes are trending upwards. Close over Precious Achiuwa last game. Minimum price. I mean, I'm not expecting much out of him. I mean, like, it's not a safe play. Like, extremely volatile play. Extremely volatile play. Like, that could fall flat on its face. He could score single-digit points. I was just saying it because his minutes were trending upwards, and if you do need a bare minimum guy, it's probably Banton. Ingles and Bane or OG and Banton? Probably Ingles and Bane. Thoughts on Ayton? Yeah, I think Ayton is pretty affordable. Not really somebody I'm targeting. They're going to need his size against the Cavs. Cavs run one of the largest lineups in the league with Larry Markkinen playing the 3. So they will need his size. More of a secondary play for me. Not somebody I'm going out of my way to get to. Graham and Cunningham or Cole and Milton DK? Sorry. Probably Graham and Cunningham there. I mean, Milton is actually a worse spot than Cunningham. Cunningham is going to play more minutes than Shake Milton, and I like Graham more than Cole. Kemba, Caruso, Trent Jr., Scotty, Joker, McConnell, Sabonis, Giddey, DK. I like it. Best values, probably TJ McConnell, Alex Caruso. Rubio, Hill, Alexander Walker, Trent, Barton, Giannis, Sabonis, Collins. Like it. Booker, B-Day, Bash. Oh, is it his birthday? That's why people are talking about him. Any changes on DK sheets? I just made an update to the Grizzlies, guys, but that's it. Yeah, no problem, Lakers. Suggs or Gary Trent? Gary Trent. Vassell or Patcon DK? Going to go with Vassell. Do you like Herbert Jones? I do not like Herbert Jones. Never Herbert Jones. Biggest edge in GPP? Probably Joel Embiid today. Are you update DK Patreon cheat sheet or is it about the same? Yeah, make sure to check the updates on the sheet. Thoughts on Rubio? Yeah, so with no Isaac Okoro, in the Cavs only running an 8-man rotation last game, all of Rubio, Sexton, and Garland ended up playing 31 plus minutes. Rubio is the best per minute guy of those 3, and he's the cheapest. He's only $5,600. I think he is a very, very good play today. Going to be very low owned. You're going to get him at like single digit ownership. Capella and JVal or Randall and Trent. I'm going to go with the JVal side there. Thoughts on no late night hammer? Yeah, so I don't think the best plays are in the late night games. I think they're more in the upfront ones. I don't know why people are thinking the War is a good play. Not really somebody I'm targeting today, especially with Semi Ojeleye back. Best pay-ups, Sabonis, Joel Embiid, Giannis. Are we waiting on any more news? We are not. Damian Lee officially ruled out. Okay, so, I mean, that's definitely a boost to Jordan Poole and his likelihood of closing that game out. Jonathan Kuminga will also make his debut today. Best mid-tier plays? I mean, what range are you talking? Because like mid-range, like 5 to 7K, somewhere in there. I mean, Desmond Bane with Kyle Anderson. Now a game-time decision. Probably not going to play. Let me bring up my sheet, actually. Steven Adams, Chris Duarte, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Devontae Graham, OG Anunoby. Would you go Kemba or Rubio then if I'm going to play one line? I would play Rubio there. 6K utility. 6K utility. Probably going to go with Devontae Graham there. Favorite game to stack: the Toronto Raptors versus the Indiana Pacers.
Advertising is based on
Favorite Prize Picks plays as of right now, probably OG Anunoby and Clint Capella over. Those are probably the two guys I'm leaning towards as of right now.
It's freedom from fear. It's a billboard on the side of the road that screams with reassurance that whatever you're doing, it's okay. You are okay.
Horford back down to 7 rebounds, man. I'm gonna have to tilt him getting a rebound in the fourth quarter. Sad. Thoughts on not any better plays at his price point? I really like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I mean, his price is pretty lofty on DraftKings. I would prefer getting up to OG Anunoby, but he's still a great play today. Noah Chua today? No, so I'm like kind of concerned with his minutes. They definitely were in favor of Kem Birch and Chris Boucher yesterday, and then they ended up closing with Scotty Barnes at the 5 and Delano Banton entered the closing lineup over Precious. So just really skeptical on his minutes right now. If I knew for a fact he was going to play 32 minutes, I mean, like I was confident in before last game, he'd be an S tier play for me. McConnell or Suggs? McConnell for me. Best boom or bust play today? I mean, probably Joel Embiid, but I don't know if he really has all that much bust potential. Do you like Killian Hayes? I do not. And I like him even less now that Cade Cunningham is back. OG, Barnes, and Trent in the same lineup on DK. I think that is definitely fine. I mean, the Raptors run their guys into the ground. They play so many minutes that it's definitely fine to play them, and they're all at affordable price tags. SGA or OG. OG is definitely way safer. SGA, if I knew that the game was going to stay competitive in Golden State, then I would select SGA. But as of right now, I'd probably go with OG, play a bit safe. Bane, Graham, or Hill, Middleton? Bane and Graham. Bane becomes a very, like, even more so of a good play if Kyle Anderson is officially out. He did just pop up as a game time decision after not even being on the injury report, and that was just within like the last 20 minutes, and that game starts in like a little over an hour. So I think Kyle Anderson probably sits. So I do like Desmond Bane quite a bit. Bane and I just answered that. Bam and Sabonis or Bane and Giannis? Gonna be Giannis and Bane for me. Sabonis over Randall. Yeah, I like Sabonis here a lot. I mean, this team is so undersized that it's hard for me to not get to Sabonis. Lee ruled out. Yep. Thoughts on Looney at 3,200 versus Favors? I mean, Looney just isn't going to play that many minutes. He's never really going to exceed playing 20 minutes at most. Like, he doesn't play fourth quarters. They always close small. And the Warriors can definitely do that against the Thunder. Thunder are already an undersized team. I mean, Derek Favors is undersized in his own right. Your favorite game stack is a secret like mine? Is it? Randall and Cunningham or J-Val and Clarkson? J-Val and Clarkson. Pat Bev or Killian Hayes? Pat Bev for sure. I can't really get to Killian. We have 8 minutes to a lot, guys. No more news really coming in. So if you guys have any last second questions, make sure to type them in here. Otherwise, I'm probably going to hop out a little bit early. Unless questions start coming in because I'm not feeling too hot. Thoughts on Terrence Ross? Yeah, with Gary Harris back and how secure the minutes are for these starters, I just really can't get to Terrence Ross. They seem pretty dedicated to getting the younger guys minutes, and so Terrence Ross is kind of the odd man out for that team. Is Cade in play? Yeah, Cade is in play because he is $3,600. Definitely in play. Like, if you want to play Cade. But just know that he is on a 20 to 25 minutes limit. But he could definitely get it done in that time. Barnes over 27. Yeah, that was another one I liked. I like Barnes over 27. Dude, Scotty Barnes is playing like 39 minutes a game in these competitive games. So, and the one time I took the over on Scotty Barnes over on Prize Picks, he put up the dud, 19. But outside of that, he's playing huge minutes. And I don't think his projection is really taking that into account. Who would you prefer, Morant or Butler? Morant there. Gary Trent or Fournier? Gary Trent. If Anderson plays, are you still on Melton and Bane? Yeah, I still think that they are fine plays regardless if Kyle Anderson plays or not. Prefer Desmond Bane though. First time asking a 3v3 Randall, Knott, and Graham or ABC Duarte and Clarkson. I'd probably side with the ABC side just because it has Giannis. Thoughts on Chris Paul? I mean, Chris Paul leads the league with nearly 20 potential assists per game. If this game is competitive, which I think it will be, he's in a great spot. I like Chris Paul. Who better in DK Cash, CP3 and Clarkson or Van Fleet? And Precious to the CP3 side for me. Rubio, Duarte, Bane, Barnes, Bamba, Walker, Trent, and Curry. I'm assuming that's Steph Curry. If I'm playing Steph Curry, I'm probably bringing it back with a guy like Josh Giddey. But I do like the rest of that lineup. Because if you're playing Curry and you're paying up for him, you're assuming that game stays competitive. And the OKC guys are entirely too cheap if those games do go the full length. Any love for Gobert? I expect Chicago to chuck shots today. I'm just never really on the expensive Utah Jazz guys. Always getting to the values. Take Zeke and Elderberry. I mean, I need something. Jokic or Embiid for me, but damn, is it close. I mean, dude, it's just so close. You're like really splitting hairs. I mean, I like Embiid more because you get the savings. If you have the money, I mean, maybe go to Jokic if you have the money, but I wouldn't go out of my way to make that upgrade unless you just had the money sitting there. Graham or Mo Bamba? I'm going to go with Bamba there. Scotty Barnes is sick. Yeah, he is sick. 3,300 for utilities. Herbert Jones in play. I guess he is today. I mean, he's going to play about 30 minutes tonight. He's safer than Delano Banton, I will say that. Is Danny Green in play at 3,900? Not for me. Thoughts on Kemba Walker? Yeah, I mean, if he gets the hot hand, he's going to play around 30 minutes and will destroy that price tag. But if Derrick Rose is the man to get the hot hand, it's not going to look very good for Kemba Walker. If you have 3,700 in the utility and already have Hill and Cade, who do you play? Wow, you are going true stars and scrubs, I assume. Man, like you're probably reaching to like, you said 3,700. Yeah, you're probably Patrick Beverly here. That's dirty though. Joker can roll something up in Denver and smoke until he can feel his knees hurting. I'll play him. Yeah, I think he's solid. I mean, I think he's a really good play today. I think the expensive guys today are going to be very low owned. I don't think anybody's really landing on one specific guy. If Anderson plays, who do you like better? Rubio, Melton, or Barnes? Barnes. I like Barnes regardless if Anderson is in. Thoughts on Gary Trent, DKGPP, only 4.6K. I mean, I think he's a very good play in all formats today. I think he's entirely too cheap. Since joining the starting lineup, he's constantly played mid-30s minutes. His role is very secure, and $4,600 is a laughable price tag. Is Pirtle still viable? Yeah, he is. I mean, his price is just a bit much, but, you know, we never thought we would see a day where he's going to play 34 minutes a game like we've seen from him. And he's always been a good per minute producer. Pirtle or Capella. If you're playing cash, you definitely go Pirtle there. If you want some upside, some very low owned upside, you just go with Capella. Is it okay to leave 800 on FanDuel tonight? On FanDuel, yeah. Interesting. Take Antonio. What did Antonio say? Okeke? Yeah, I mean, Okeke is he's limited today. Josh Hart or Giddey? Giddey for me. Najee Marshall should get extended run today with no Brandon Ingram. And I'm not sure if Josh Hart is fully back. He only played 22 minutes last game. I'm expecting him to play upwards of 30 tonight, but Marshall definitely in play. Bane or not? Not for sure. Carter Jr. or Barnes? Gonna be Barnes for me. Got 2 minutes till lock, guys. Yeah, so we really start moving these lines over here on Prize Picks. Because I think we got 9 at 28.5. And he is at 32. So we got that at a 3.5 point advantage. How do you feel about Ingles? Yeah, Ingles should grab the start today. Get extended run with no Mike Conley. I think he's fine. But I do like the over on Clint Capella. And I like the over on Tyrese Maxey. With Milton only played 16 minutes last game. And we got word that he's going to continue to be limited. So I'm not expecting him to play any more than that. And so Tyrese Maxey going to play 30, 32 minutes. Should easily be able to pay off this price tag in this matchup. Ingles or Dort? Probably Ingles for me. How high are you on Capella? Only in tournaments. I think you can beat the field to him by playing him in the first game where he plays 30 plus minutes of the season before. And then if he's at this price tag, so if he plays 30 minutes tonight, or 30 plus minutes tonight, and then he's the same price next slate, he's going to be very high owned, but you're going to get him at very low ownership today. It's all about predicting it, and I think there's a good chance that he exceeds 30 minutes tonight, especially in this matchup. Favorite spend up, Domantas Sabonis, Graham, Clarkson, Barnes, OG, Bamba, Walker, J-Val, Carter Jr., DK, single entry, no one over 10K, dirty or no. I think that's definitely fine. I mean, I've built a ton of lineups today where I don't spend up on really anybody. Also, PrizePicks is running a deal today where you get you get more money than usual on flex plays. So normally I don't like playing flex plays, but if they are going to offer you more money for the wins, yeah, I mean, you should probably be taking advantage of that. I took advantage of it by playing a more 5 picks than I usually do. But if you guys do want to take advantage of the deal, sign up and deposit using code Taylor, TAYLOR. Link is in the description for a 100% match bonus up to $100 on prizepicks.com. But yeah, appreciate you guys being here. My voice is absolutely shot. Gonna try to keep trucking through this though. Appreciate you guys being here. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. That is the best way of supporting me. Appreciate you guys being